I'm not saying it's because Doull is next to me, but this is a land of natural beauty beyond compare. And here we are doing it indoors because, Doull, it's rained once again.
Oh, we've been forced indoors, haven't we? Sadly, Hamilton and I was hoping that my old hometown would turn it on for us, Harsha, but sadly it hasn't. The rain has curtailed the second ODI, and yeah, a real shame for the whole series, really. I think it's been just a bit of a damp squib, hasn't it?
It has. And just before all of you say, why on earth are you playing now? It's incredible how the day before every game has been fantastic, including Doull going out and doing what he loves most, which is playing golf. But let's come down. In the little bit of time that we had today, we saw Shubman Gill looking good again, and we saw Sky once again playing one or two shots to take your breath away.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Shubman has done more than enough, I think, in the first game, and then that little 45 not out today. Just his timing, I think, was one of the keys from the point of view today. Just looked like those shots that he hits down the ground, the on drives, they just ooze a little bit of class for mine, and they look so elegant because he's a tall player. I think something you might not think is he might not play the short ball well, but he hooks and pulls as well as anyone. He's very good off the back foot. But when he reacts and when he just waits and gives himself a little bit of time, I think he's just going to continue to be an exceptional talent.
And social media has picked up the little conversation we had. I'll just tell it to you again. I remember the Under-19 World Cup's going on. I've messaged, I've WhatsApped Doull, and Doull's WhatsApped me back saying, take a look at Shubman Gill. And there's nothing he's done since then that suggested Doull was wrong. And then, of course, Sky came and a couple of audacious shots.
Sky things.
Sky things, correct. I mean, I've been reading what Glenn Maxwell's been saying about him, among others. But how do you reverse sweep way beyond the boundary? I mean, I know it's not the longest boundary, but that far.
Yeah, look, it's clearly a shot he practices a lot in the nets, and you don't come out into the middle and do that sort of thing without the practice and without putting in the work. But he just has confidence in his ability. And it's almost like his record in 50 over cricket is just average.
Yeah,
it?
it's so 30s.
Yeah, but as soon as you shorten the game, the real Sky comes out.
Which raises an interesting point. Do you see Sky being a regular in that full-strength Indian batting side? Because there's a number 4 slot open. Once you find 2 openers, you've got to choose 2 between Rohit, Shikhar and Shubman. You've got Virat at 3, then maybe Rishabh Pant or the wicketkeeper bats at 5, Hardik and Jadeja 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Is he a contender for 4 for you, along with Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul?
I think they'll give him every opportunity to prove himself at the 50 over level. Is he good enough? 100%, absolutely, he's good enough. But he is going to have to prove it because there's guys playing that have better records. Shreyas Iyer has a far better record. Sanju Samson has a far better record, and you've got 3 quality players that will have to come back into the side as well. So I think Shubman has done enough. So to me, 8 doesn't go into 5. Not in anyone's business. So there's some work to do in that time. But yeah, they will give him, because of the quality of player and because of the game-changing nature that he has, I think they'll give him every game between now and that World Cup, or at least another 10 or 12 games to try and prove that he can do it.
And every game that gets washed out, or every game where there's a different team going, is one game less to get your team ready. And it's not like the year that's just ended, where we had 41 T20 internationals. There's about 20 games, 20, 21 games. Out of those, the last 5, you'd want the squad that's playing the World Cup to play. So you've not got that many teams. So India need to take a call on Sanju Samson very quickly, where he played the games against South Africa. He was fantastic in those games against South Africa. He's not getting a break. He's not even in the squad to Bangladesh. And I think somewhere by now, whoever the next lot of selectors comes through must say Shikhar or Shubman, unless, no, I won't say Rohit.
No, I mean, look, Rohit plays
White ball cricket.
Yeah, Rohit plays. I mean,
ODIs.
it's his game. It's his game. What's he got? 2900s, a couple of double hundreds. He is exceptional. Averages 48, strike rate close to 90. He's a shoo-in. I think he and Shubman, for mine at the moment, are probably the top 2. They open the batting. Look, the Sanju Rishabh Pant one's an interesting one because Rishabh Pant's record, again, it's a decent sample size. He's had just under 30 games and still only averages 35. Strike rate's good, but Sanju in his 11 games is averaging 60 something.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's any less of a wicketkeeper. I just think he deserves an opportunity as well.
I think he does too, and I think we've got an intruder watching over us. Go away, Gaurav Kapoor. Go away, go away. We've got an intruder. Go away.
It's a Crick Buzz reunion. It is a Crick Buzz reunion. How are you doing? You're right.
Okay, now that we've got him out of the way. Go away, Gaurav, go away. We're doing some serious work. So what are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about Shikhar, Rishabh.
Samson.
I mean, where do you sit on the Sanju Rishabh Pant one? Because it's an interesting one for mine. I mean, I know that there's so much talk about Rishabh Pant and how he is the future and all these things, but in white ball formats, he hasn't quite done it.
He's not done
Unbelievable test player. And I think he is, he's the shoo-in in the test as the keeper batsman. No issue with that. But is he the best white ball keeper batter? I I'm not convinced yet.
I think at the moment, I think post Sydney and Brisbane and the 100 he got against England, his class is undeniable. I just think India's trying to find a slot for Rishabh rather than saying who's best in that slot. And I think, to be fair, at up to one level, he's earned the right for that because of his performances all around. But I think slowly people will have to say, okay, maybe we need to look at Sanju Samson as well. So that's where you are. The other worrying matter for India, and that's something they'll have to look at very closely, is there isn't another batter who bowls, but that's a whole new debate. That's like the old number 40. Oh no, I didn't say number 4. Let's go. What's with New Zealand? Where do you see them going? Martin Guptill's gone. I mean, Trent Boult, Colin de Grandhomme. Well, Colin de Grandhomme, you could say maybe his future didn't lie that much. With Martin Guptill, his future did lie. But do you see this happening more and more? People saying, I don't want a central contract?
I do. Yeah, I see it happening more and more. And it doesn't particularly worry me until it's a 22, 23, 24-year-old that does it. That's my worry.
Say a Finn Allen or a Glenn Phillips does it.
Exactly. And someone who's got 8 or 10 years of cricket left in them. With Trent Boult, look, he's served New Zealand wonderfully well. And he'll still play in that 50 over World Cup next year because he wants to play World Cups and he wants to play for New Zealand still. He's just chosen not to play all of the time. And I totally get that. You know, you've only got a certain amount of time to make money in sport, and he's served his country well. Good luck to him. I got no problem with that at all. It's when a 20-something does it, who's only played a half a dozen games, and they decide to go and sign for an MI or sign for a Delhi, who are going to end up having, if what we're hearing about all these franchise tournaments around the world,
3 or 4 franchises,
5, 6, 7. You don't know when the American one starts up. If the 100 gets sold, there'll be 5 or 6 opportunities around the world to play for these teams. So that will be the worrying thing for me when that happens.
And the worrying factor is, of course, does New Zealand, a bit like South Africa and some other countries, become a feeder for the franchise leagues around the world? So keep your eyes focused on this one. We head now to Christchurch. What's the weather forecast like in Christchurch? What's the weather forecast?
I daren't look.
No.
I don't want to look.
No, I don't want to either.
I just know that it's going to be beautiful when we play golf on Tuesday.
Are you playing golf on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Done.
So it's going to be beautiful.
No, because the golf day and the cricket day, I hope it rains on your golf day because we need some cricket. Because it's, as Dooley said, it's been a bit of a damp squib. India have learned a little bit, but hopefully we'll get a full 50-over game in Christchurch, and people, it's like the aftermath. You remember the last days that you had, so we look forward to that. But today, once again, sadly, in Hamilton, in Simon's old home ground, where he knew which end to bowl from and where the breeze came from and where the flags fluttered and flew, we've had no play today. Hopefully better news from Christchurch.